welcome to BYOB, the Bring Your Own Book podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Nikki.
And today we are joining you live together.
For the first time since we started doing video, we're in the exact same room, so that's awesome.
So bear with us. Hopefully this works okay. We're going to try to use our theater training and angle.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But anyways, we're here today because we literally just saw It Ends With Us, the movie. And we have thoughts. So...
do we ever?
Where the heck do we begin? Maybe we should start with, like, just the experience of going.
Yeah.
Because, so, as you may or may not be able to see, I'm wearing a floral dress, and I didn't know that Colleen Hoover was like, come with your florals.
No, that was Blake Lively.
Oh!
I'm sorry. Your florals and your gal pals or something?
Check. One check.
Yeah.
So... But I didn't know. I was just like, Lily Blossom Bloom, I'm gonna wear flowers. Like, ironically, but I didn't realize, like, duh, Kelly, of course I'd be like, wear floral.
Yeah.
Idiot. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the going to the theater was nice. Our theater has just been redone. Mm-hmm. So we got to, like, sit in the new fancy seats.
It's bougie now.
And eat good food, which is really, like, all we were counting on. Just being able to sit and eat snacks.
Yeah, I was there for the food, honestly.
So, starting off strong, we did those things.
Yeah, and, like, we went on a weekday in the middle of the afternoon. So, like, it was, like, full-ish, but it wasn't packed. So, like, we had an empty seat we could put our stuff on.
Yeah.
It was great. I will say there was, like, maybe 2 men in there, and I feel like they were forced to be there, like, with their wives.
I would say that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, so I kind of felt for them, but also not, because that one guy kept coughing, and I was like, shit.
Was that a guy?
Yeah, the guy right in front of us.
Yeah.
The classic, like,
yeah.
And then silence.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
But anyways.
I mean, starting off strong in the movie, I didn't remember that the book started off with her dad dying.
Yeah, same.
I was like,
interesting
way to kick this off. Mm-hmm. And then as it neared the end of that segment, I was like, oh yeah, this happened.
I know. I was like, also, oh yeah, her dad was a piece of shit too.
And the guy who plays Owen Hunt in Grey's Anatomy played her dad.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I thought that they weren't going to have any scenes with him, and it was just going to be his likeness. Like, they just paid for a photo of him.
Which, like, that's a good gig.
Right?
Just, like, use my photo, dead guy, number 1.
Yeah, it's like Jennifer Garner in Mother's Day. Just her picture.
Oh, Mother's Day. I haven't seen that.
It's, like, one of those movies where it's, like, all these different people, and then they turn out to be interconnected.
Yeah. Oh, wait, maybe I did. Is that the one where Julia Roberts is, like, in the military, and she's on, like, the plane, and... Was that New Year's Eve? I don't know, but that also wasn't great. But
no idea.
Oh no, she had the god awful wig in that one. Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah.
Jennifer
Garner was a military person in Mother's Day, and she died in action, I think. Anyway,
okay. Well, speaking of wigs, speaking of wigs, let's talk about Blake Lively's hair.
There was a ponytail moment. In her, when she's cleaning the first time, when she's in I was like, the restaurant, it's not a restaurant, when she is opening up her store.
Yeah.
And it's like up, and then she turns, and you just see this heinous, like, line where the wig hair, like, tucks into the cap. And I was like, no one did anything. You couldn't have just colored her real hair just right there, just for that moment,
like, or like in post, just like
that's like just for it. Anything.
The costumes and makeup. I don't usually pay attention to that much because, like, it's a contemporary movie, so, like, whatever. But I was kind of like, why is she, like, fully done upon waking all the time? And then there was that scene where she's like, the morning after they didn't have sex, they just, like, slept over, and she looked like a clown. Like, her face was, like, so white, and she was like, oh, Ryle, you know, like, just
I know. Her wig updo also looked kind of weird there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, the biggest thing in terms of costuming, like, I looked over at Nikki in the movie and I was like, what is happening? Because I don't know what I envisioned Lily Blossom Bloom to be when I read this book. It was not Blake Lively, and it was not whatever the hell she was wearing throughout this movie.
Hey, it was like Barney is a stripper. That's what those purple pants were giving. And then she had on like this. Oh no! So she had on like a red. When she was pregnant, a red. What's it called? Overalls.
Okay.
Red overalls when she was pregnant, and that was giving Ronald McDonald. But also earlier in the movie when she had her hair all done up, and it was Jenny Slate's birthday party.
Yeah, whatever her name was.
And I was like, Ronald McDonald. Yes. The hair.
Like, the style, her overall style, it felt like whimsical thrift store, but also like 70s rock star, but also like I like to garden and my nails are always dirty.
Yeah, and she would wear stuff that was not bad, like, but then she would put this jacket on that was like a 3X jacket. It
like a mechanic's jacket.
Yeah, she never wore a jacket that fit her, I don't think, the whole movie.
No.
These are all superficial things, but we have other things. We do have other things.
But this is I'm just setting the tone.
Like initial thought.
Both of the boys were cute, okay? I thought. Justin Baldoni or Baldoni, whoever you say it. And the Atlas guy, whoever he is.
Brendan something.
Both super cute. Yeah. I love Justin from Jane the Virgin.
Yep.
Love him. We got to talk about all the shenanigans with Justin and Blake and Ryan Reynolds and literally half the world, it seems.
You know, I will say Blake is large, like tall.
Oh,
like she has a very like tall stature, and her head is fucking huge. And Justin Baldoni's head is also huge, which is great because I feel like they really balanced each other out in those shots.
Yeah.
But all I could think of, I don't know too, because it was obviously like we're seeing it in the theaters and it's on a huge screen. Yeah. But I'm like, that knocker is just like fucking like.
Yeah.
It's like a Funko Pop.
Well, she had that mane of hair too. Yeah. So it was just like, not.
I'm just like, what if they had picked somebody whose head was like an average size and then they would have looked really. Like her just like eating the guy's head and like.
I was picturing this was him, this was her.
Oh.
If they had a littler head for the lady. Anyways.
And just pick her head off like a cherry from the stem.
Oh my god. Okay, when they were on the rooftop scene at the very beginning, she was like, maraschino cherries, they either like do something.
Oh, they stay in your stomach for 7 years or give you cancer. And he was like, oh, and she's like, I might have made that up, but they're gross. Or they're disgusting, because they are disgusting. And I was like,
what? Was this in the book? Because it seems so random. I was just okay.
Also, if people haven't listened to our episode, we did read it last February. So it's been a hot minute. No, we were not going to read it again to watch the movie.
Ends with us.
Yeah. And I don't know. I will say, like, the book, I thought was whatever. It was fine.
Mm.
The movie, I also thought was whatever, and it was fine.
Yeah.
I understand why some people were really upset about it if they really loved the book. I didn't really love the book, so I was kind of like neither here nor there. No. There were moments that I thought were like very moving, and I was like touched by those things. But I think as a whole, the delivery of the message was not effective.
No. So, I mean, I'm glad that they pretty much cut out the Dear Ellen stuff. Like, we just saw a quick shot.
Oh, yeah, it was just like alluding, and then she was watching Ellen DeGeneres and like.
Oh, really?
Scene.
I was looked over at you with that.
When she gave him the popcorn.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, she had Ellen on the TV in like one of the flashback scenes. But yeah, because somebody in a comment somewhere was like, I'm really sad that they didn't put in any of the Ellen stuff. And I think that was enough. That was great.
Yeah.
You see her write it. You see her watch it. That's enough. It doesn't have to be any more than that. You're seeing everything playing out. You don't need the letter.
I will say, I feel like they could have just had her, the clip of her like watching the show.
Right.
Because people who haven't read the book are going to be like, who the fuck is Ellen? Is she writing a letter? Like,
yeah.
I would feel like, if it were me, I'd be like, wait, is this another character we need to know about? Who's she writing to?
Right.
Like, you know, but people who've read it are like, oh, Ellen. And people like us who've read it are like, oh, Ellen.
Yeah.
That was
one of the worst parts of the book for me. I mean, there were a lot of parts of the book that I didn't really get, but that was like needless.
Yeah.
That was the thing for me, is that whole like Ellen DeGeneres stuff was just like really needless.
It was just so bizarre. Yeah. Like, choices. But yeah, okay, let's back up to the TikTok stuff. Nikki's been sending me so many TikToks about Justin, Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and before you sent me anything, I just randomly saw a video of the guy who plays Atlas being interviewed by Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
and it's like a 5-minute video, okay? And it's like Ryan Reynolds, and it's like funny, silly stuff, like what's it like to be playing opposite my wife? Is it great to kiss her? All this stupid stuff.
Right.
Which is weird. Yeah, which is also weird, though, for this movie, because it's like, oh, my wife. Like, okay, Ryle Jr., you know? Literally, though.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's mom comes in, and then Hugh Jackman comes in, and I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, what is this? And I even told Scott, I was like, this is the weirdest ad I've ever seen. And then you start sending me these things, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah.
So, what was I think I started sending it after the premiere, or like around
Probably.
like the videos of them at the premiere.
Yeah.
Blake, the whole cast taking photos together, Colleen Hoover taking photos with them, doing interviews together, Justin Baldoni, who played Ryle and also directed the movie, which
I think he also produced.
He bought the rights.
Okay,
it was like, so
his
he
production company.
he acquired the rights, and then whatever, like totally separate from everybody else. And so that's weird. They're all talking about Blake's shampoo line and her like outfits and wear floral and stuff, and he's like, domestic violence, and these scenes were really hard for me to shoot, and I'd have to go into another room and like cry sometimes and like try to get him out of my system, and like if people need help and all this stuff. And then flashback again, and they're like, nah! Like, girls' night out.
Well, they played that clip before a movie. Blake was like, this is like my advent calendar. I feel like I've been counting down the days, and I'm like,
right?
What?
Yeah. So there was that stuff. Also, Ryan Reynolds wrote a couple of the scenes.
Not credited.
But, so the lady who wrote the screenplay, this is like, I'm gonna like say allegedly with all of this, because nobody from the actual company has come out and said anything, but it's just like, there's been like too much for none of it to be true. Yeah. So the lady who wrote the screenplay, she did it. The writer's strike happened, and nobody was supposed to be writing anything. And then she comes back to watch a cut of the movie and give input, and she thought that the changes that were made were just ad-libbed. And it turns out that those were scenes that Ryan rewrote. When would he have rewritten those and put those in? During the writer's strike, where nobody was supposed to be writing anything?
Yeah.
I mean, again, allegedly.
And why? But, like, why? I can't imagine. And, okay, I'm jumping everywhere in my mind. This movie is supposed to be about a woman trying to break the cycle of domestic abuse. It's supposed to be like, women, stand up, you know, like, be there for yourself, whatever, all this stuff, all this stuff, women, you know, we're gonna break the cycle, blah, blah, blah. Why the hell is some dude who's not a part of this project coming on in trying to rewrite things?
Well, she's talking about it in like an interview during the premiere night.
Okay.
Which people are kind of like, was she not supposed to tell people that? And she's like, I work on everything he does. And he works on everything I do. And like what's mine is his and what's his is mine. She was Lady Deadpool in it.
Lady Deadpool?
Yeah. There was like, and then his daughter was like
what?
Kid Deadpool, and then his baby was Baby Deadpool. I think.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I saw the first one eons ago. Are they? This is like a family, or it's just like this is a baby dressed as Deadpool?
Okay, Matthew McConaughey is like Cowboy Deadpool. There's like so many famous people in it, all playing different.
What?
There's like a guy from NSYNC who does the Bye 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 dance in the Deadpool costume.
Oh, I've seen that on TikTok. Yeah.
So
that's someone.
Anyway,
yeah.
There's like a lot of Deadpools.
So it's like Into the Spider-Verse, but Deadpool,
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Very solid. Okay. But anyway, so she's like, what's mine is his, and what's his is mine. And people are like, okay.
Wow.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Wow. And
I saw one of the TikToks you sent me.
Yeah.
I was like, am I smart, or are we all just having the same thoughts because it's so clearly obvious? Like, I don't know if we're smart or they're just stupid,
right.
Maybe a mix of the two. But like, one you sent me was like, they're trying to make Deadpool and It Ends With Us the new like Barbie Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah.
And I literally had that same thought because I'm like,
Oppenheimer.
Would it even be dead? It ends with us. It ends with pool. Like,
it ends with dead.
It ends with Deadpool.
that would be a movie about domestic violence.
Oh my god! It just, I don't know. There's a lot of, I don't know. Like some people are kind of insinuating that maybe Blake and Ryan don't get along with Justin, and Justin's just like, I'm not here for this.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna back out.
He has been like very professional. Not that they haven't been professional, because they have also been professional. They're just not doing the movie justice. And I feel like Colleen Hoover also isn't really doing the movie justice for like what the point of the actual like book was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know whose decision it was, like if it was Justin Baldoni's decision or if that was a decision that he came to with Colleen Hoover. Colleen or Colleen? I'm going to say Colleen. About not putting the domestic violence like in the actual scenes where it happens. Like she only sees it in like a flashback. Yeah, because it always looks like an accident when you see it the first time. Like, if someone burnt their hand on something and you're reaching down, they could very well elbow you in the face.
Oh my god.
Like, and that's not domestic violence, that's an accident.
That's just, like, really shitty.
Yeah, that's just, like, super shit timing.
Yeah.
And they fall back and they cut their hand on some glass. You could be running down the stairs after someone and you go to like touch them and they turn and you lose your footing and you fall down the stairs, which I don't know why that's the route they went with for this.
Yeah.
There are movies where that could work, like a psychological thriller. All of these accidents keep happening and at the end you find out it was the husband.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would totally be down to see a movie like that too. But the point of this was to see the deterioration of their relationship. And if you think that all these accidents happen and then you're like, why is she like...
Yeah, and why is Atlas like, if you need any help? She's like, he literally dropped a hot casserole dish.
Yeah.
And I was also there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they tried to do, or they did it that way, whoever decided, because it was like she was finally taking...
Accepting.
Yeah, like she was... not taking ownership, that's not the right words, but like finally kind of realizing like, oh no, this is happening again, it's happening to me.
Right.
But like, it doesn't read like that. It just reads like, oh, what if he actually did hit me? What if he did push me down the stairs? Like, it doesn't look like it happened.
And I saw another like post on Facebook. Somebody was like, I'm really disappointed in this movie. And someone else commented on it saying that they had seen it with their boyfriend, and their boyfriend said, well, did he hit her? And then, like, at the end, it seems kind of like, well, that could have just been, like, what she was choosing to think happens, and it kind of discredits her, I don't want to say, like, discredits her as a victim, but it kind of does, like, in this sense, like, it doesn't show, like, any kind of, like, I don't know, like, wherewithal in the situation of being like, yes, I'm leaving. I really think it would have been a stronger message to actually see him, like, in that moment, the first time you see them do the casserole, like, him grab the casserole, that he turns around and he hits her. Or that he does shove her down the stairs. And then it makes it seem more shitty when he's cleaning her up and he goes, you fell down the stairs by accident. Because right now he's like, you fell down the stairs by accident. And she's like, oh yeah, silly me.
And, like,
I don't know.
I think Justin did really well with, like, there was definitely some kind of weird chemistry, tension there. And I don't mean because of all the rumors or whatever. I mean, like, he seemed menacing in certain scenes, you know? He seemed very much like, I'm a bigger, stronger man. And if I'm upset, watch out kind of thing. Which I think is very appropriate for the role in the scenes. But, like, it just was weird because, like, I don't know. The weirdest, one of the weirdest things for me with that whole situation of the two of them, what I looked over at Nikki because I was like, oh my God. Near the very end, she has the baby. And, you know, she's like, we're going to name her Emerson after your brother that you accidentally killed, which the way it was done made you feel like, was it an accident? Did he kill him on purpose? Like, for me anyways, I was like, that's a weird reveal, like, how they did it.
In the movie.
Yes.
Because in the book, you just felt, like, really bad. Like, I felt bad, and I was like, well, no wonder he's messed up, but also that's not an excuse. It's just saying, no wonder he should get help.
Like, but the way it was in the movie, it was kind of like, oh my God, he's killed before, will he do it again? Like, that's how it felt to me. And so,
origin stories.
The Joker 2.0 or something. The Joker's a neurosurgeon. That whole laughing about, you're a neurosurgeon, I was like, oh my God, like, okay, let's move on. It was just so not funny.
There was a
laughing,
lot.
flirting. Like,
there was a lot of laughing.
Oh my God.
I will say, though, the girl who played her younger self was, like, spot on. The voice. The first, like, couple sentences, I was like, did they dub her?
Right?
And maybe they did. Like, I don't know, because her voice did get less like Blake's, but I didn't notice it doing that until, like, later in the movie. And I was like, oh, that's so weird.
I don't know.
But I think she was really good. I liked the scenes between young Lily and young Atlas. I even really liked the scenes with Lily and Atlas, like, older. I just don't... I don't know. I thought that the chemistry between Blake and Justin was good for the scenes where there was conflict. I don't feel like I felt chemistry during the scenes where they were supposed to be just happy.
No.
Like, when they first meet and, like, you know, like, when you meet a boy and you're, like, touching, but you're, like, we don't, like, really know each other, but there's, like, vibes. And he's like, kiss me. And she's like, just one time. And, like, that's supposed to, like...
He looks like a good kisser. Oh, my. I was just like, Blake, who?
That's supposed to, like, rile stuff up in you. But I was just kind of, like, underwhelmed in those times.
And because we already know he's going to be an asshole, it's like...
Well, that's the thing, too. But I did like, I think not one of my favorite scenes because I loved watching it, but one of my favorite scenes in terms of, like, effectiveness was when he comes in with the magazine and he's, like, reading.
Oh my God.
And he's, like, acting very, like, nice to her, and he puts her on the counter and you think, oh, it's going to be, like, hot, and he's, like, congratulating her, and then he's like, read it. And the way that she, like, touches him in those moments, you can really, like, feel that like, you do that to like try to calm the person down and try to like get their minds off of it, and like you want them to like feel you touching them so they can like feel your love.
Yeah.
And that scene, I was like, ugh.
I know. That was,
and her being really like, I don't want to, like, I don't want to read it.
Like,
I know.
I know. I have to say, I really liked his voice. But I was like, it was very bad. When it got bad, But he has a nice low voice, and I'm just like, Jane the Virgin. The show is so good, but no,
like I get it though.
Yeah, there's like Kindle romance.
I was like Kindle and dark romance, like
until it was not.
Because those men would stop when you said stop. Yes, they would.
The books I read. Yeah. No, going back to the baby part. Like,
yes, the baby.
Yeah, because I got sidetracked. There's so many thoughts. The part where I looked at you with the baby was because she gives him Emmy to hold. And he's like, oh my god, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. Because she named the baby after his dead brother, who he killed accidentally, allegedly, when he was 6.
Yeah.
So, with a gun. Anyways.
Yes.
So, then she's like, smiling. Then she's like, I want a divorce. And he's just like, crazy eyes looking at her because he has an anger problem. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, he's holding the baby, and you said this stuff, and then he starts to cry, and then she, like, wipes the tear away. She's like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, oh my god, get the baby back. I turned to Nikki, I was like,
but that's why she did that when he was holding the baby, because she knew he wasn't going to hurt the baby.
I didn't know that, even though I read it. Even when I read it, you know what I mean?
Even though I read it.
Even when I read the book, I was like, this is not safe. Like, it just, I don't know. But, and then she was like, would you tell our daughter to stay? And he was like, no. And then he gave her the baby and left. And I was like, okay, great, get out of there. But, like, I was like, Lily Blossom Bloom.
I know. They did change the end, though, because the end when she meets Atlas for the first time.
Yes.
She is supposed to be dropping her daughter off with Ryle, and he's like picking her up from the store to like take her for the weekend. And they didn't do that because there was a lot of backlash about that, which like I get and I don't get. Like, it's fiction. It's fiction. Not every guy. Like, but do you know what I mean though? Like, a lot of time has passed. You have to use your like big girl brains and think maybe there are things that have happened that they can't out like in the book.
Yeah.
Like, he's been to therapy and they've done visits where he has been supervised and stuff, and now he is able to take the baby on his own because people can trust him. And there was like no reading between the lines for people with that scene. People were just like, oh my god, he's taking the baby. And I was like, I don't think it's like really that deep. Like, people who hit their wives get to take their children on the weekend all the time.
Yes.
Like, I just feel like that wasn't face value for me, and a lot of people took that at face value. So they didn't do that in the movie, and she just has her mom have the kid.
Yeah.
Her mom's like pushing the kid on the swing, and she's like, 1 second, I'm going to the market.
Yeah, like, I was one of the people, which I'm pretty sure in our episode, I say, like, I was like, you're gonna leave your baby alone with him? Because I think in the book she was still a baby. I don't know how much time had passed, I don't remember. But
Wasn't it like 2 years later or something? Who knows?
I don't remember.
It's been so long.
It ended when I closed that book. Like, I had no clue. I don't know.
Yeah, after we recorded that episode, it just went like...
Yeah, it's like, I have no idea what happened. Who am I anymore? But, yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would do that. But again, it's not my situation. But, like, yeah, the way they did in the movie, you really didn't have any time to think about, is Ryle still in the picture? Like, it was not clear at all.
Right.
And then suddenly it was like, Atlas is here at the market. Oh my gosh, love story about to happen. Which I'm like, okay, because that's how the book is. But I was also like, this is a weird tonal shift. Like, I'm not with my abusive boyfriend anymore.
Yeah.
Are you single? I'm single.
Yeah.
Blackout. It ends with us. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Weird. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Did you also feel like, sorry, random thought, there were a lot of close-ups on shoes. Does she have like a shoe line? Like, did you notice that?
Yeah, there was those heels with the weird,
yeah,
like the red heels with the weird, like
gold
decorative heel on them.
Those like sock rhinestone boots that he pulls off that I had to laugh at. It was like
Maybe
supposed to be sexy.
Fetish. When I was when I was watching that scene, I was like, no man would just know how to take those boots off. They'd be looking all over for the zipper. You're like, how do you do it? Because it's like, it's like a sock.
Yeah.
And you like just pull it down. But I'm like, there's no way that if you were just seeing a man for the first time, he's like, oh, nice boots, let me take them off, that he would be like, oh yes, I know exactly.
Let me curl them down your leg. Like,
I know exactly how, because I'm gay.
Yeah. Or European. Like people on the musical. But then she falls asleep in his pajamas. Like he gives her pajamas
with her
fishnets.
Fucking fishnets on.
Yes.
I was like,
I thought he was going to take them down, or I would have been like, okay, he's asleep. Great, let me take these off, because I'm not going to sleep with fucking shapewear, fishnets, and pajama pants.
Right? No, couldn't be me.
Oh my god, no. And then I feel like so many of the sex scenes are like supposed to be sexy scenes. I was like watching it like, oh, because okay, I'm going to say something. Maybe you didn't notice. I certainly did. From the moment the movie started, I was like, oh my fucking god. Keira Knightley, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Love Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley, Blake Lively. What do they have in common besides being actresses? Their mouths are always open.
Are they?
Yeah. Even when they're not talking, it's like, I can't believe you did this. Like, everything. Her mouth was always open. Every time. It's like, Atlas. I'm like...
That was really Kristen Stewart of you.
Thanks.
It was like Kristen Stewart's era Twilight.
Yeah. Well, her too. Like, oh my god. Or them too? I'm not sure. I don't remember. Maybe them? Kristen Stewart?
No, I don't know.
I'm not sure. My apologies. I'm not sure. But... mouth always open. Mouth always open.
Like a fish?
Yeah. But, well, I'm vegetarian now, but I like fish more. Like, like, I just, every time, because there was also that TikTok you sent me where I was like, yeah, I agree. Blake and Ryan, they're always just themselves in movies. Every movie, Blake is Blake. And I'm like, you do you, Blake. You're a bajillionaire. Good for you. You know, clearly it's working. When I'm me, I'll make $1 billion. So,
no.
But, not yet. but I'm just like, could you close your mouth? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
She was clapping at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
They're in their onesies at the bar for the beer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They're watching the Bruins, and she's going, clapping. I'm like, do you want to clap? She's like, hockey. Like, why are you clapping like that?
My palms itch.
It makes my wrist hurt. Like, but I don't know. Like, the mouth is open. I just love flowers. Lily, blossom, bloom. I'm like...
Okay, can we talk about the flower shop? So in the book, it was supposed to be like a steampunk flower shop. It was not steampunk, but it was all dead flowers.
Yeah, it was like... It gave me like Daisy Jones and the Six witchy vibes.
Yeah.
But also grandma's house.
Yeah, I was going to say, it smells like old people perfume in there, I feel like. Also, the fact that they painted over the wallpaper.
Which was floral.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, you should strip that first. Like, I know it's a movie, but also, like, that's not how you do it.
She's a florist, and she had dirty fingernails pretty much every scene of this movie, okay? She was in the hospital with Raul's sister. I don't remember her name, but Raul's sister, her BFF, also her coworker, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Okay. Holding her newborn baby. Dirty You're working with cut flowers at your store.
Did he propose to her with the baby in the book?
I feel like not.
But yeah, I don't remember. I really don't remember.
And then he was like, will you marry me? And we laughed because it was like...
There was this lady in the theater, and she kept laughing at, like, the weirdest times, and I was like, this isn't funny.
No. That's one thing. I don't know. I do live with another person, not other people.
I think it's a cat.
Oh. Uh-oh. No, I will say, I do wish, and again, I don't know if it was just us, maybe it was the theater we were in, like the crowd, whatever.
Right.
It was not funny. It was not funny. And I feel like it would have been more effective if it was more light and funny before the darker stuff happened. Yeah. Because then there's the shift. Of course, a lot of people know the story.
Yeah.
But not everyone does.
Yeah.
And they clearly weren't amping up the whole domestic violence is bad stuff in the PR.
Yeah, even the trailer didn't really, like, give DV.
I don't even know if I saw a trailer. Maybe once, like, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Or, like, Instagram ages ago.
Yeah. But it wasn't giving, like, end of relationship stuff. Like, I don't know, usually trailers now tell the whole movie.
Yes.
Like, in the trailer.
Yeah.
And it was very ambiguous, which maybe is good. But I saw a lot of people being like, we didn't read the book, and we went to see this movie thinking it was a rom-com, and then we just cried the whole time because we were like, what the sweet hell is going on?
Yeah.
Which is wild. And also, like, especially because it comes from a book, and in the book world now, everybody is so about trigger warnings. The fact that they let people walk into this movie about something that a lot of people experience and didn't say, like, red flag here, like, please, know that there are, like, really hard subject matters that are gonna come at you, and just let people think it was a rom-com is wild.
There was no, which I didn't expect it, but I did wonder, there was nothing at the end of, like, if you know someone or if you need help, like, here's some numbers, websites, whatever.
Right.
Which, we don't expect it, but I did think, I wonder if that will happen. No.
I mean, maybe at the end of the credits that nobody stayed for.
Yeah. Can you imagine there was, like, a cutscene at the end that we didn't know, and it was, like, Lily doing flowers. Like...
I will say, on top of, like, all the other drama, like, with the cast and stuff, people were looking at their Instagrams, and everybody has unfollowed Justin Baldoni. He has not unfollowed other people, though.
Yeah.
They unfollowed him, and Blake has, like, owner of this, like, these businesses, and he's like, if you or somebody you know has experienced domestic violence, please go to this link in my bio. And I'm like, I think that we know who isn't the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously people can pull the wool over your eyes, but I really, like, feel like whatever is going on, I don't think that he is, like, the spark for it. And even if he is, I think that, like, he is still doing right by the movie to, like, bring awareness.
Yeah, I just, like, when all this stuff first came out, I was like, this can't be, because, yes, it's happened time and time again, where you think someone is not a certain way, and then you're like, wow, they are apparently a different way, Yeah. But I just thought, like, this can't be, because what I think of when I think of him, besides Jane the Virgin, is he has a book for kids that's for boys, young boys growing up, about, like, it's okay to have emotions and it's okay to have feelings. And he has his podcast. I think it's We Are Man Enough.
Right.
I think. And I'm just like, it would be very, very odd for you to be like, I'm going to do this stuff as, like, my passion project, and then to be totally ousted as the complete opposite.
Right.
Like,
why? Because, like, he doesn't have to do all of these things if he didn't want to and didn't, like, feel strongly about them.
Yes, because it's not like just being like, I'm going to say this nice thing for everyone and, like, have a quote everywhere. No, it's like, no, I did all these things.
Yeah.
And he, like, I don't know, it just seems really weird to do that. And then, like, not that it hasn't happened before, but, like, it is weird that you would go all in on these things, like, outside of your acting.
It's like, I know that years in the future, this one minor thing is going to happen, and I'm going to do all of this stuff to, like, back up my character for that one moment.
Unless it's already happened. Conspiracy theory. No. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just find that very odd. And I mean, look at the way he's responded to everything. The fact that he hasn't responded. He's just been like, hey, I'm here to promote this movie.
Yeah.
It's about domestic violence, like, you know, and I forget which other movies his production company has produced, but like it's all things with like ethical problems or like social problems that you want to talk about. Like, you know, it's not just like, we're going to do a silly fluff piece. Like, it's all like things with a message that he's trying to get done. And he's not in all of them, you know, it's just like, I want to produce it.
I did think it was weird that he was like, I bought the rights, I'm directing it, and I'm starring in it. I was like, that's all, like,
maybe he has a personal connection with his family or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Also, like, he's not the only person that's involved. Like, he could have been like, I'm going to cast someone else, and somebody was like, no, I think that you should do it.
Yeah. Which is so, like, when I first heard that he was cast as Raul, I was like, oh, that's weird. So maybe that's why. Yeah. Because that's not who I would think of at all ever to play that role. No. Which makes sense. Like, it's sometimes not someone you imagine, right?
Well, yeah, you think, like, this guy's a neurosurgeon and he's like helping children like live and doing brain surgery for 27 hours a day and like doing all of this like crazy stuff, and like he's so good.
Mm-hmm. And he's handsome, he's young, and he's well off and all this stuff. Like,
so I don't know. What did you think about them aging up?
I didn't really like it. I felt like they should have stayed closer to the actual ages in the book. But it wasn't really clear what age they were.
She was 25, and I believe he was supposed to be 27 or something.
No, I mean in the movie it wasn't clear.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like there was nothing really to tell you.
Right. Other than the fact that they clearly aren't in their 20s.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think if they were younger, it would have been better and more true to the book and just show a bit more of like, when you're in your 20s versus your 30s, your outlook is different. Never mind like how you respond in relationships, but just like how you think about things and your repercussions and everything. Like, I did like that in the movie they changed Atlas to, like, he said to her in the hospital, like, or in the car, if you decide to keep the baby.
Right.
Or at his apartment, wherever he said it. He said, if you decide to keep the baby, because in the book there was no discussion about it. It was just like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I'm going to have this baby. You know, it's like, okay, well, you might not have to have the baby if you don't want, depending on where you live, you know? So, but I think they should have been younger. And I think, like, I know we've said a lot of things about Blake, but I'm just like, I don't know. They both were too old.
I know.
They both were too old.
I think I understand her reasoning for changing the ages. He's a neurosurgeon, and you're not a neurosurgeon when you're 27, which is like cool. But why didn't you
fresh? Yeah.
Why didn't you just change it so that he's like a resident or something?
Yeah.
Like, you can still pull like super long shifts. You can still be like in surgeries. Like, your hands can still be important. You're like, I think that like that would have been better to just make him a different, like, just make him be in a different spot in his medical career than to like make them so much older. Because like, you couldn't leave her at 25 and make him in his 30s, because then that totally changes everything about the book. Now it's like an older man taking advantage of a younger woman, also on top of the domestic violence, and like that just adds a whole other kind of like,
and the dad issues that she has, like, not a joke, like actual dad issues, you know, like
like that just adds in a whole other like area into the movie, which like is not present in the book at all, so it doesn't make sense to put in the movie. Like that can be a different movie, like altogether. But I was like, why they're like in their 40s. Like, let's be real. They're very attractive, but they're still in their 40s.
Yeah, and
like,
I mean, it's HD now all the time, so like I can see every little line.
Yeah.
So we know. And it's okay to be in your 40s. Like,
oh, yeah.
I hope to get there, you know? But like, not the woman. But, you know what I mean? It's like, girl, we can see. Mm-hmm. Dude, we can see. I don't know how old the Alice dude is. I don't know anything about him. But I'm assuming he's around the same age. Mm-hmm. So, and then, but I mean, the people who played their younger versions, they're always older.
Yeah.
Like, they were not 16.
No.
There's no fucking way. Like,
I saw this video the other day, and it was like, you know, Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
Lucy Hale was like the one whose character dated the teacher, and they posted a picture of like what she actually looked like at 16. Because when she did the show, she was in her 20s, and it was like, this is who was dating Ezra, and like her baby face and everything, and I was like,
the girl who played the one who goes missing, forget her name, Allison. She was 12.
Yeah, her first season. Yeah,
gross.
Yeah,
gross. Pretty Little Liars. Oh my god, that show
was a fever dream. Speaking of fever dreams and like lively, I've started rewatching Gossip Girl. That is a ride.
Now you're gonna watch for her mouth open at all times. I'm telling you,
I will. It's gonna be all I can see.
That's all I could see today.
Well, they're all like drinking all the time and doing cocaine, and I'm like, where do you guys get this stuff? Like, I know it's New York, but still.
Girl, I'm like that in real life. When I hear about people doing things, I'm like, literally, how do you find these things?
Right?
Like, I'm not looking. I'm just like, I
just so you know, she's not looking.
Please don't send me DMs about, I know you can find this. I don't need to know. Thank you. But it just like, it's all over my head. I'm like, what? How does one procure these illicit substances just out of the blue? Like, hey man, do you know where this is? Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like so different from my life. I wouldn't even know. It's so bizarre to me, but yeah. No. Yeah, I will. Okay. What was your least favorite part and your favorite part?
Okay. Least favorite part was the rooftop scene. I think at that point in the movie, I was like, this movie's gonna last forever. It took so long to get there, and it was the beginning.
Yeah.
My favorite scene was probably Lily and Atlas in his apartment when he goes, what song do you want to play at your funeral? And they have that kind of like little moment together. And I was like, okay, because that's like when she's like, maybe I can be like a different person or whatever. Okay. So I think those are my moments. What about you?
Okay, my favorite part were the trees, the shots of the trees. There were so many pretty tree
New
shots.
England is beautiful.
There were so many pretty tree shots, okay? I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, even the first opening shot, like, they're driving in Maine, I was like, that's pretty. Plethora, Maine? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I gotta visit. Least favorite, I feel least favorite.
Meeting Jenny Slate for the first time.
Least favorite?
Yeah.
I think she was one of the better parts of the movie.
She grew on me, but her first couple scenes, I was like, I hate everything about this.
Yes. Oh, okay. You know what? Maybe this, I don't know if it was my least favorite, but it's one I can pick, because I feel like I don't even know what I just watched, and it just came.
Right.
I'm like,
great.
I don't remember if it was like verbatim what happened in the book, but I really didn't like when Jenny Slate is her name, when she was talking to Blake Lively and being like, as his sister, I want you to stay, but as your best friend, I'll never talk to you again.
Right.
I was like, that is not supportive. I feel like I'd be like, I'm never going to talk to him again, not you. Like, I was kind of like, what? Like,
yeah, I
wouldn't be like, you're with him, bye, bitch. Like, I'd be like, bye, boy. You know, like.
I mean, I can see like it's her brother, so she wouldn't like not be in his life, especially because she
Sure.
lost a sibling.
Sure.
But I mean, that's how it happens in the book too. That's almost verbatim what happens in the book, I'm pretty sure. Like, as a sister, like, I want you to be my sister,
Yeah.
but as your best friend,
yeah,
I don't want you to be with a shitty guy, which is, like, fair.
Yes, that
Right.
I think is fair. But being like, I won't ever talk to you again.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was, like, a little extreme.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Also, you work for her. They didn't talk ever about the fact that, like, she didn't need to work for her because she's so rich, and she's like, I'm just here to kill time.
Yeah, like, you just saw her wearing a bunch of fancy
Really nice
stuff, or, like,
stuff.
Valentino, like, written all
Yeah.
over. But yeah. And, like, she was like, you live with us now. Like, you live in the same building, not with us.
Right.
And I'm like, that was never discussed, because when she was on the rooftop at the beginning, she was like, I broke in, you have a better view. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Did you feel like, I don't remember in the book her being so manic pixie dream girl. Like, in the movie, it was like, I like to wear men's mechanic jackets, and like,
Right.
my hands are always dirty.
Yeah, I don't remember her being super manic pixie dream girl, but also maybe that's just, like, not how I read it. It's the inflection. But at the beginning, he does say, I live beside my sister.
I know he does.
Yeah.
But, because she moved in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. It was not stated.
Right.
And I read the book. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I have this thing with, and the younger Lily did it, and I think the older Lily did it. I hate when girls in movies sit on the kitchen countertops. That's like a dead giveaway for me of, like, manic pixie dream girl. You know, like,
You're just rubbing your dirty ass all over the place where you prepare food.
Like, what you cooking? Like, sitting there, I'm like, I know people do sit on countertops in real life, but I'm just like, this was a choice, you know? So,
this was an artistic choice. Art.
With a capital A. So, I did like when the younger Lily and young Atlas were hanging out. She was sitting on the counter, and he was going to make those cookies for her. And then her dad shows up. She's like, you gotta leave. He's like, 12 minutes. Don't forget, 12 minutes. Like, bake the cookies for 12 minutes. It's like, important things here. You gotta know. Bake for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And also, they made Atlas look like a server.
Yeah.
But then you finally find out, no, I'm the chef.
Yeah.
Which I think it is kind of like in the book, but I was like, no, he legit looks like a server, because he didn't have on his jacket for, like, most of the restaurant scenes, and then suddenly he has a denim one on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with denim? Do people wear
Because
that?
it's edgy. It's rude.
It's Boston. It's Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he tries to bite her tattoo off.
I didn't remember that in the book.
I feel like something did happen, though. Yeah. I feel like something did happen in the book with the tattoo, like, after he found out what it was.
Right.
But yeah. In my mind, I was like, why would you try to bite it off? Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But also, like, yeah, I don't think he was thinking clearly, Kelly, but yeah. If you had to rate the movie versus the book, which did you enjoy more?
The movie, because it was shorter.
Yeah, I would say so. And also, like, you got to look at the cute people.
Yeah.
It's like,
I didn't really feel anything about Atlas and Lily in the book, but I felt stuff in the movie, because I liked the younger scenes. I liked them, like, I don't know. There's always something attractive about a man who's already attractive saying, like, I want to help you.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to get you out of the situation.
Protect you.
Yeah, like, hot.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
the movie.
But also, in the movie, we didn't have all the Dear Ellen crap during the young stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like that also, like, pumped it up.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the book, it was like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like, why did you need this plot device?
Yeah,
what plot device is this? Like,
he could have just done it in, like, a then and now. Like other people.
Yeah.
Lots of people do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say I like the movie a bit more. But I think I looked recently. I rated the book 2.5 out of 5. The movie, I would say 2.5. I didn't feel like it was great. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But it felt long when it's not a long plot.
I know. Yeah.
So, and like I said earlier, I do feel like if the first half had been a bit more lighter, more fun, then it would have really made that shift like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because there was already like an undercurrent through all their interactions of like, she would like joke with him, he'd be like, stop. Or like, she was like, you're such, oh, he was like, smart ass, right? And it wasn't like joking.
Yeah.
Like, that needs to be more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Where you didn't know if he was mad or not, right?
Yeah, it was like, it was a little heavy-handed.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, was he? We don't know. Because it was all up to interpretation.
Was it a dream? Like, when I hit my head
from him pushing me down the stairs.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't know. Do you think we're going to see an influx of people dressing the way Blake Lively dressed in this movie?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I hope not.
I mean, where are you going to find those purple pants?
And, okay, actual question. Like, what are the things that she was wearing under the pants? Because I was like, are your pajamas? Are your undies out? No, it was like a fake pant or something under the pants. And you only saw, like, you can't even see it, like this much, maybe?
Sometimes people wear, like, high-rise, like, shorts under pants. So you see, like, the black of the shorts, and then the pants are, like, low-rise. That was the thing.
Hers was, like, they were blue patterned. And then the Barney pants.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
What? I've never heard
I mean, I would not be surprised if people started dressing like her, like in Toronto and stuff. I don't think we're going to really see that here. We live in a place where it's not like, I wouldn't say it's the smallest place ever, but like, it is not a fashion forward province.
This is like, I feel like I grew up in a small rural area. People would dress like that going to school, and it was not fashionable. It was like, yeah, I went to Walmart and bought a big coat. You know what I mean?
So I could grow into it.
Or just because. But like people my size, if we bought like that kind of jacket, it would just look like we were a square.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look like, oh yeah, I'm edgy. I have this like weird jumpsuit on that shows my stomach, and then I have this big mechanic jacket. I know I'm on the mechanics, but look like blue collar jacket. Nothing wrong with that, but it did like, go with the outfit.
It was a Carhartt. It was like so everybody knows.
I have no clue, but yeah, I don't know. I really hope we don't see more of that, but Lily Blossom Bloom.
You think they're gonna make an It Starts With Us movie? Is that about her and Atlas?
I think so. I don't want to read it though.
I don't either. I'll like do the synopsis. Just because I want to know. But I don't want to know bad enough to like read the book.
Yeah.
I don't need the nitty gritty.
I have stopped so many husbands and boyfriends at work from buying that book because they think it's the first book. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, oh, it's not? I'm like, no.
It ends with us first.
And he's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. Like, don't ask. Just trust
get
me.
This one.
Just get the other one. Yeah.
And also, don't be around your wife when she reads it, or she's going to be mad at you for no reason.
Oh my god. When they said that it ends with us, like, it was just like in the book, you know.
Yeah.
But there was someone in the audience who was like, oh! And I was just like, we know, bitch. God.
Yeah. There were a few moments like that.
But again, not the worst thing I've ever seen.
No.
It's not going to get her an Oscar. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't.
Their mouth open. Everything was mouth open and then biting the lip. Like, stop.
I know.
I don't think I ever bite my lip unless I'm biting my lip. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this movie was, I don't know the right words for it. It was like too mainstream to be effective in the way that movies that are nominated for Oscars are effective.
Yeah.
Now, if this movie was not based on this book and was directed by like Martin Scorsese, then Oscar.
Yeah.
But none of that is true. So,
no, like, I think Colleen Hoover, she got big from TikTok. She was around for a while, but TikTok really, like, boosted her career up, which, like, good for you.
Yeah.
However, I feel like they thought TikTok is really going to help us with this movie. I don't think it did. No. I don't think the people in charge of the movie and the studio and all this stuff, like, actually understand the younger people and TikTok, that it's, I don't want to say it's like a weapon, but, like, it's not like mainstream media where it's like, here's what we want to present to you. This is what the story is, whatever. This is like people like you and me being like, did you hear this? Oh my God. Or like, look how stupid this looks.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be, like, if you want to be on TikTok, and then you have to be ready for people to shit down your neck so hard because you don't have to hold anything back.
No.
And people can, like, reply right on your video.
Yeah.
Or stitch your interview that you did and stuff.
Yes.
It's not like when you go to the movie theater and you see them do that little clip and you're like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, is it really? And then the sleuths come and then you have this.
Yeah. It's like people like Ryan Reynolds who think they're clever and they're funny, which he is, but like, there's a lot of clever and funny people online who are going to use your stuff and be like, you know? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think the movie will do well commercially, but I don't think it's going to do well critically. I'd be very surprised. Like, it has
a 51 on Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
See, I didn't look it up because I didn't want to know before.
Yeah.
I wanted to see and then look.
Here, I'm going to look it up right now. Just to...
Yeah.
It ends with us.
And I wonder what the audience score is, too. Because, again, I don't think it was the worst thing, but I don't think it's anything to write home about.
It has a 59, and it has a 94% audience score.
This is giving me T-Swift fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, let's all pile on and give it 10 out of 10.
Okay. Critics' consensus. Earnestly performed, if marred by clunky dialogue, It Ends With Us is surprisingly at its most grateful when handling the more provocative elements of its melodramatic source material. I would agree.
What did he even say or she say? What?
It's at its most graceful when handling the more provocative elements of its melodramatic source material. Like, the parts that were, like, the best in the film were the angry parts.
Yes.
So I would agree with that. Like, I didn't feel like the softer moments hit well at all.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like, the assault, like, sexual assault scene was very... It was uncomfortable, which is what it's meant to be.
It was really uncomfortable. It was not as uncomfortable as it was in the book.
No.
Like, the book got, like, it happened. That's the thing in this one, like, did it happen?
But also, we talked right before the movie started, it's rated PG, which I thought was odd.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good decision. I think that it should have been rated R.
Or at least PG-13, because you need to see more of that stuff to really get the full impact. I don't even necessarily mean, like, I need to see, like, the physical blood, but it just has to be more intense because it's intense subject matter.
Right.
You can't gloss over it. Yeah. Like, that's the whole message of the story.
I know.
So...
Like, the whole reason we're here.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that's our thoughts.
In closing, are you going to go see Verity if this comes to pass?
I'm not seeing it in theaters.
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't know if you're going to get another episode like this from us when it comes to Verity, because at that point it will have been over 2 years.
Yes.
Or more.
Yeah.
Since we've read the book. I'm not reading that book again.
No.
I will watch Verity at home, $5 or less.
Yes.
With a blanket on my couch.
Yes. PJs, snacks.
We'll definitely do it together, but it's not going to cost as much as it cost us today, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, we did it.
We did.
Yeah! Thanks so much for listening to this episode of BYOB, the Bring Your Own Book podcast. If you want to keep up to date on all of our bookish antics off the air, you can follow us on Instagram at BYO Book Podcast or on our TikTok at Bring Your Own Book Podcast. I feel like this episode, the subject matter is way too intense to have a funny little joke at the end. So I'll just say, remember that you deserve to be treated properly and to be loved and taken care of. And if you need support, we will have some resources in our show notes. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye!